Pulled pork, it's what's for dinner. Normally, I'd love to cook on my offset, but today I've got some things to do, so instead, I'm gonna let the Pit Boss do the work. Got my Pit Boss Classic. I'm gonna get this fired up. Hit the power button, turn it on smoke. Just gonna feed it some pellets, getting fired up. You wanna make sure that your grill's nice and clean. My deflector plate is all scraped down. Pork butt is very fatty, so there's going to be a lot of drippings, and you want the grease to go where it's designed to. So it's meant to flow down this into this channel, and then there's an opening that goes into the grease bucket. And if that gets obstructed, you could have a grease fire. So we've got the grill starting up. It's got some pretty thick, nasty smoke right now, but that's just because it's getting fired up. Once the flame gets going, that'll clean right up. The grill's lit, coming up to temp. As you can hear, got a nice flame in there, clean smoke. Honestly, there's no better food than what comes off of my offset. But today, I got some stuff going on, so I'm willing to sacrifice some flavor for some convenience. This thing, I don't have to feed it wood splits. I don't have to monitor temperatures. I don't have to manage a fire. I set it and I forget it. It takes care of itself. That being said, to get the most smoke flavor out of this thing that I can, I'm gonna have it set to smoke for 2 to 3 hours before I turn the temperature up to probably 250. During the smoke setting, it's gonna run somewhere around where it's at right now, 175, 180. And it'll smolder the pellets more and create more smoke, because naturally this thing burns really efficiently and you don't get a whole lot of smoke flavor from it, especially at higher temperatures. Got an 8-pound bone-in pork butt that I seasoned last night. Wrapped it in saran wrap and let it sit overnight. For the base, I put kosher salt down. It allows the meat to dry brine, which consists of the salt drawing moisture out of the meat, the salt dissolving, and then the meat reabsorbing the moisture, which brings the salt inside the meat with it. And that'll help retain moisture, and it'll add flavor. And on top of that, I just put my homemade barbecue dry rub and wrapped it in saran wrap, put it in a tray to catch any drippings, and let it sit in the fridge overnight. There's always a big debate whether something should be cooked fat side up, fat side down. On this cooker, the heat source is so close to the grill grates that I need the fat cap to protect the meat. And at the end of the day, when you shred it, you're not gonna eat that fat cap anyway. So the roast has enough intramuscular fat to keep itself juicy. You don't need the fat cap to baste it or anything. Another thing is to know your cooker. So on this one specifically, the burn pot is directly beneath the grill grate and the diffuser in the center. And naturally, that's a hot spot on the grill. So I'm gonna put the roast off to the side. It's gonna help protect it. Fat side down, it's also gonna help protect the meat. Honestly, pork butt's probably one of the easiest things that you can cook. The only thing that is bad is that it takes quite a while to cook. This will probably be on the smoker for 8 to 10 hours. But you can cook it in a large margin of temperatures and it'll be just fine. So if you have an offset, if you're trying to learn your cooker, learn how to manage a fire, maintain temp, like, it's great. And on top of that, once it's done cooking, it's so fatty that if it's overcooked or undercooked a decent amount, it's still gonna be great. It's been on the smoke setting for a little over 2 hours. Butt's looking a little dried out, so I'm gonna spritz it. This is a 50-50 mixture of water and apple cider vinegar. You can use apple juice, just water, whatever. Just wanna introduce some moisture on the meat. I'm gonna let it dry out. And I turn the grill up to 250. Internal temp of the meat right now, 91 degrees. We got quite a ways to go. 162 internal, at about 10 hours on the smoker. I did lose temp at one point, ran out of pellets, but I'm gonna wrap this soon, put it inside, just transfer it to the oven after I wrap it.